How do you like me now?
Now that I'm on my way.
Me. All right, Survivor. Episode
3 Survivor, 4 a podcast.
Oh, okay. I was thinking because it was 4 then 5. Okay.
All right, Allie, give us a rundown.
How did this become my job? Anyways, okay.
You have the notes.
He does too.
It's
Day
your channel.
7. The Saleh tribe. Adam's already up to his mischief. He is stating that the old school.
Time out. That freak was sleeping with his eyes open.
I know when they tickled his nose in the beginning, he was.
His eyes were wide open like a zombie.
Anyways, he was stating that the 3 old school players, Rob, Parvati, and Ethan.
Time out. I have so much more energy in this one than I did the last one because I felt like shit. Time in.
Great. They're in control, the old school, from Adam's perspective. Stop interrupting me. And he wants to target the big dogs. You guys knock it off.
We're good.
Can we just start over?
No, this is great.
This is great. All right, go.
Denise got Danny's fire token.
Yes.
And she has the idol. So she's feeling pretty good because she feels like I found the idol last week. I now have another fire token. So she's starting to get her footing a little bit.
Which, did we
Denise
see
is.
that last week? I don't remember Adam giving it back to her unless I missed
No,
that.
we didn't see it. She just talked about it this
Okay.
time.
Okay.
For the idol to be active, she had to give the other half to somebody else before sundown, the day she found it.
Okay.
So he kept it until they got to tribal,
And then he gave it back
to
okay.
her.
Yeah, they didn't show it last week.
No,
I
I
almost
thought-
think he still had it in his bag because they were acting all weird when they were dumping out bags.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Denise.
So I don't know if
Okay,
they
yeah,
actually
yeah,
ever
yeah.
exchanged, but carry on.
And then Adam and Denise were talking, and they want to go after Parvati. That's kind of what the base of the whole show was about, trying to go after the big dogs, which I understand.
Smart.
I understand the
They're,
concept.
in theory, though, they're all big dogs.
Yes, but there's some more than others.
There's more.
Like,
There's dominant personalities.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're all winners.
So then at this point, Ben and Michelle are talking, and they're on board with Adam and Denise. They want to vote out Parvati. So this is where Adam starts not playing smart, in my opinion. He starts talking with Ethan, who is in an alliance with Parvati, about voting out Parvati, because the logic was there. I understand why. He didn't want Ethan to ever feel blindsided by the vote, so then they were enemies after. He's like, I want Ethan to know what I'm doing, so that once
Right.
Parvati's voted out, then we can work together. I never have lied to him. He knew what my plan was. And Ethan basically said it was stupid that he told him. If
Yeah,
you know I'm in an
which-
alliance with her, it was dumb.
yeah,
So
I agree. My
the
person's
logic,
dumb.
yeah, the logic was there, but the execution was mediocre. Then we go over to the Tikal tribe.
Which, by the way, in my opinion, the Dakal tribe is having the most fun.
Oh God, yes. for
Outside
sure.
of like
they're not paranoid.
the paranoid, the drama, like every time they cut to them, they're actually having fun. And I think the catalyst in that is Tony.
I agree, but they've also only lost one challenge.
I
but
know,
that's
but
what you
they've-
got to do. If you're not
They're
losing,
still-
you can have that fun.
No, I know they've only had to go to one tribal, so it hasn't been like that much animosity amongst the tribe.
But Tony's the only one. I know you don't like Tony.
I mean, he's my guy. I don't like him, but I mean, I see where you're coming from. He does make that morale.
Like he's always like he's up to something. Like he, you
just
know
a
what I
good
mean?
time.
He did the ladder. He did the shark this time. Like you just happy.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. Like just
which it's smart for him this time
There's
because
gotta
he
be
was
a lot
kind
of
of
downtime.
weird and suspicious last time
Yeah,
he
well, he
played.
was hunting on the idols
Right.
before. So we go to Dakal on day 7 still, and Sandra is trying to be helpful around camp. I feel like in the past season, she's always kind of been a bump on a log and not done anything. She's trying to change it this season. So it's like, let's fish. Let's use the net we have and set it up and try to see if we can catch something. So they... it's Bud Light time. And so they set it up, and they said, we're going to do like the fishermen's do. We put it up, and we walk away and see what happens the next day. At this point, then, Tyson is struggling. He's feeling like for the first time ever that he has a target on his back, and he wants to get the target onto Sandra because she is the queen. She's won twice. As he said, she has $2 million in the bank from Survivor. So I get it. You want to try to push it off on somebody else. And so Tyson went and was talking to Yul and Sophie, trying to get the target on Sandra. And they turned on Tyson and went and told Sandra what the talk was.
I love you.
So I
mean,
do too. But he also, though, I think is thinking too far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Take what Tyson says and digest it. Why do you have to immediately go run to Sandra? Because Sandra played it cool. She goes, okay, thanks for the information. Let's see how this next challenge goes. I'm not going to worry about it unless we lose and we have to go
Right.
tribal. So she's not going to fret about it right now. Then at this point, it cuts to day 8. And they go check their fishing net, and lo and behold, they have a shark.
Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do.
It was a little shark, but it was more food than they've had in the last 8 days, so they were pretty pumped about that. And the shark almost bit Tony.
Well,
in
he
his mind.
says I was gonna bite his arm off.
It was playing dead.
close.
He picked it up, and it started kind of going after him, but it wasn't close to ever biting him.
You would have dropped it.
I would have dropped it 100%. I wouldn't have ever picked it up.
Right.
This is also true. Never mind.
So they went back to camp, had some good shark steaks, as they called it, and ate well that day. And this is when Yule then pulled Sandra aside and told her what Tyson was planning. And Sandra said, we'll take care of it. If it comes, we have to go to tribal. And
I feel like she's kind of a godfather too in that sense, where she's just taking all the information as it comes and kind of like
and then making demands.
making the decisions and making those as they go along. Like, we'll take care of it when it comes to
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
She's dominant personality.
She
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
She
yeah.
definitely is. So at this point, it is still day 8, and they cut to the edge of extinction.
3 women spearfishing.
Yeah, Danny is.
And she looked awful doing
she
it.
did, and she even said though she's trying to keep busy, trying to keep positive, and she spearfished and caught a little teeny tiny fish, but it was something they didn't have before.
She
so.
caught bait.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So she felt like she did something. They get like a tree mail on extinction. There's 3 like cylinder shaped objects given to them. Each player gets one, and it has a picture of like a white weird looking tree. And both Amber and Natalie say we remember these trees looking a little different. So they know right where
Up top.
They know right where to go
Yep.
up top. Yeah. So they go up there and get to the tree, and there's that combination, one of those combination locks. And they're like, and it said in the note something like, you have all the information you need. So they knew they had the information.
Yep.
See, at first I was thinking maybe like I thought of Survivor 40. I was thinking like automatically that part. I was like, oh my God, 40. That has to be like
Yeah,
a
so
playing
it
factor.
was 6 numbers. So they're counting and trying to figure out if it could fit a word or something, like based on numbers or
and
whatever.
then Amber's like, oh my God, I've seen numbers before.
Yeah.
And goes sprinting back to
So
camp.
she
Well,
sprints
they can't.
back, and Danny and Natalie just stand there and still are trying to think. And so Amber rushes to the crates where there had been numbers kind of painted haphazardly on the crates. And so she's trying to remember them. She ends up writing them down, gets back up there, and a couple of the numbers had like zeros, and there was no zeros on the dial. So she's like, shit, this isn't it. And at that time, Natalie's racking her brain, and she's like, they gave us all the information. She runs back to camp, and she realizes on each of the cylinder things they were given for tree mail was a strand of seashells attached to it. And she's like, between different numbers of them, there's a knot.
Yes.
Indicating a different amount of shells. So she was really brilliant. She grabbed it. She took the one and chucked it in the weed. took the other one and broke it. And then she's like, then they won't have it. I'm the only one that has a number of them. So by time she gets back up there, the other 2 girls went back to their camp.
They kind of gave up at
And
that
so
point.
she went up there and acted like, oh no, she got it and got the stuff out. And this was an
Or
advantage.
played it different.
Yeah.
If I figured it out and it was the necklace, I would have broken a different one in a different spot each time.
Yeah.
And then, like, I would have put the bug in their head and been like, oh, I thought maybe it was those shells.
That would have driven
I tried it.
crazy.
It didn't work.
And it almost looked like she
would've ran up and
put
tried it again.
everything back together how it would have been if she didn't ever figure it out, because like how she placed everything, she closed the
Yeah, she
trunk
closed
back
the
up. You know, I just
combination.
think it's funny.
Yeah. So she gets up there, gets it, and it's a steal a vote that she could sell to one of the players on the regular island for 1 fire token.
Which she has used in the past successfully.
Twice she's done this.
She's kicking ass.
She is
I'm sorry.
kicking
She's
ass.
Not even, she's on extinction and she's doing more than anybody in
And
the
she
game.
said that in the first episode. She said, "I am doing more here
Yeah.
that influences the game."
So I know this is Stacy's player, and she
Yes.
had been kind of questioning, is she going to be any good? Is she going to do anything? I think she's doing great.
If she gets back in the game and she gets to the final 3, if for the game were to end today, she was in the final 3, she wins.
She's done everything she possibly can. She was there by herself, completed a challenge. She was there when it was her and Amber and figured it out and found the stuff in the
Without
watering
her,
hole
yeah.
and didn't tell Amber. Now there's 3 of them there and she still figured it out and didn't tell them because they're all sitting there like, oh my God, it's going to drive me nuts. They don't know
Don't
what's
talk
going
about
on.
it anymore. It's driving me.
Yeah.
So, but I think Natalie's kicking ass. I think Stacy, you have a good player there for sure. Then it cuts to the DeCall tribe, and Sarah was given the advantage in her bag, the one from Natalie, to steal that vote. But there was a kicker there. She has to sneak onto the other tribe's camp at dark, and the advantage will be rolled up and tucked into one of their torches.
Would you guys do it?
I want to say yes, but no,
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm saying no. I think her cop instincts helped her in this
You wouldn't do
regard.
it.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't think.
Would you do it?
No, because I don't
I
think I
wouldn't
could
even
get
play
away
the
with
game.
it.
The
No.
girl was sleeping with a freaking spider on her.
No,
no.
But I don't think.
Shit, yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, you would.
I'd probably
you
take
would.
some of their shit
You
too.
would probably take Ro with you and be
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, Ro, you
let's
want to go?
Let's
So-
go.
If I was in the game with Ro and I got that, I'd be like, Ro, we've
go.
got something to do tonight.
So she, at this point, she's contemplating it and she's like, I got to do it. So she asked Tony for help and says, Tony, we're going to go with our cop alliance here. You're going to have to help me. So he helps her sneak out of camp. He helps her head to the beach where there's a boat there to pick her up. And he goes to rub ashes on her face and they won't stick. They just keep falling off. So they both have to spit in the ashes to make them tacky. And then he rubs dirt all over her, kind of act as camouflage.
See his
Look, it's-
handshake?
I did. I actually
It's like-
noticed it.
It was like,
And they turn the...
yeah, it was like
Oh, yeah. I knew it was something like where they, yeah.
the pistols.
So they drop her off. She sneaks towards the camp, and she sees them all sleeping. She's like, I can't see anything. It's pitch black.
I would love to see what they see. Because,
It's
like,
hard, the
obviously
night
we see,
vision.
like, the
Night
night
vision.
vision camera.
The based on they put like a GoPro on 'em or something,
Yeah.
but based on I don't know if it was the timing was the same, but based on how it was edited and shown on TV, it looked like somebody had just come back into camp to lay
Yes.
down when she
Yeah.
was getting there.
Because then
I
she's
loved it. That'd be so much fun. I'd be like sneaking around. I'd get the advantage, just keep crawling around, see what they had. I'd be going through people's bags, see if they have idols.
so she creeps down and she's going closer to the fire just to try to be able to see, and she ends up seeing that the torches are right there. So she turns to them, but they're so tall she can't reach. She has to stand all the way up, so she's totally exposed. And she finally finds it, but she's stepping on sticks. She's banging the torches together, and so then it cuts to again. It's how it's edited. But did Ben really wake up, and was he really looking around, like hearing something, or was it all just how
Yeah, I
it's
think
edited?
it's part of dramatics, I guess.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. So she finds it, she crawls back out, she gets it. So now Natalie has 3 freaking fire tokens. She is she's rich.
Right.
She is rich in Survivorland.
I wonder what's the minimum on the menu? Does anyone remember? Is it 5?
I don't remember.
They didn't in that episode. They showed it, but you'd have to
You
go
didn't
back and
see it.
pause it.
It was,
and
like, so
see if you
brief.
could
Yeah, I
try to
just
read
wonder
it.
like how many does she need to get something?
Yeah.
Which that was her advantage of being there first, because then she got to keep.
She can have so many fire
You know.
tokens. She's gonna be able to buy to exchange places with somebody.
Right, exactly. So now we're on day 9, and this is the challenge day. This was a pretty intense challenge.
It was.
They had like 6 ramp walls tilted they had to jump through. If they fell off, they had to go all the way
some
back
Ninja
to the
Warrior.
start. Yeah, exactly. Then they had a sand pit they had to dig a ladder out of, and then used a ladder to get a ball down, and then it was just a lot of...
Back up. Why did Sandra sit out again?
Oh
I
my
know.
God! I literally watched with you guys. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
There was no discussion. There was just
No,
like,
yep,
I'm
I'm
out.
sitting out.
I know.
Because she can't compete. That she should be the first one to go when they have to go to tribal
If
because
she was to compete,
can't
the tribe
compete.
would lose because she would
Right.
never be able to keep
She could
up.
at least say, I want to do the puzzle part.
They
like-
still no. They,
I think they all had to do
They
it.
still had to
They
get
did.
there.
They did for that, but like even the last one,
the other one, they
Right.
didn't have to.
they didn't
was a
have to. You
puzzle.
just had to wait at the end and then
But
do
I
the
think
puzzle.
she's not good at those either, though.
So that's to me where I'm confused. I know she's a good player. She's a manipulator.
Yeah.
She likes to mess with people's minds, but like you got to play the game. You got to play every aspect of the game. You know,
Right? No,
outplay them. You know,
I agree. No, I agree. So and then there was always a reward too. So the reward here was chicken kebabs and a grill to cook them on.
Yeah.
So they were all like hungry. I mean, granted, DeCall had steak or shark steaks, but they're still hungry.
Shark. Do, 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 do.
So yeah, Sandra sits out for a second time, which just blows
It
my
made me
mind.
laugh.
So, I mean, it was kind of neck and neck in the very beginning. They kind of both had a couple people fall off those wall things getting through. The Selly tribe's a little bit behind, waiting for Michelle to get through those. They get the ladders out roughly close. DeCall is a little bit in the lead.
Can we talk about how big of a moron Adam is? He falls off and turns around and tries to run back up
I
the middle.
know.
A few of them did that.
I
And why were
know.
they running through the middle?
Walk off the side.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for stupidity. So then they get to the point where they had to use the rope
With the
throw
ball
it.
attached.
The ball attached, gets stuck. They use that rope to climb up that wall. Then they have another wall. They have to use each other as a ladder.
Yep.
They get to that part and they get everybody up. Wendell just stands back and runs up the wall, and they grab him at the top.
Yep.
That was like a lot of athletic ability. It was really, really amazing to see. And then it gets to
Wendell's been kicking it. Like, Wendell's always been very good. During his season, he was extremely good.
it challenges.
He was
Yeah.
very good at challenges. So it doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah. So once we get up to the puzzle part, which was a really intricate puzzle, it
It
was like a
was.
tree that was down. It was pretty cool, but it was a hard puzzle.
I would like to do it just for fun and see
yeah,
if I
just to see if you could do it.
Hey, let's choose the guy that completely screwed up the first
Yeah.
part.
I know, and I'm
So-
like, why did you volunteer yourself to do that?
It made
part?
no sense.
It
The
didn't.
Selly tribe, Rob does it again, but Michelle's with him this time. And for DeCall, it's Sarah and Sophie, which they worked really well together. DeCall just won by seconds. Like they had Rob and Michelle had one piece left for the Selly
Almost
tribe.
actually
redeemed
did-
himself.
they did.
Almost.
They were close, and Sophie and
They knocked off
Sarah
that big
even knocked
piece.
off the piece trying
two
to put
big
the
pieces,
trying to
like,
put
yeah.
the last one in. They knocked it off, so they gave them a chance, but they were able to scramble and get back there. So the call gets to take home the chicken kebabs, and the Selly tribe goes back and has to get ready for tribal. They go back to camp, and it's 40 minutes of silence. It was a complete standoff. Nobody wanted to talk to each other because they know as soon as one person makes a move, it's going to be a mad scramble for the rest of the day. So finally, Jeremy gets up. He had it. He's like, I'm sick of this. I know I'm going to walk away and Ben's going to follow me. Sure enough,
Right, yep.
Jeremy walks away. Ben follows. Denise follows. And they start talking about voting out Parvati with Adam and Michelle.
Which it's a smart play. I mean, get rid of one of the big dogs. She
Yep.
has considered that. So, I mean,
So-
why not?
Here's Adam's.
Rob's controlling the game. She's with Rob.
Yeah, here's Adam's second dumb move of the game.
This guy's dumber than a football
He should have
bat.
went home. He should have.
He should have, I know. So he goes to talk to Rob about voting Parvati. Rob totally played it off.
I kind of thought that.
I, like, believed him for
Me
a
too.
second.
I
Props to
believed it.
Rob because he did the same thing with Danny. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'm in. Like, he's very
He kept
convincing.
his cool, and he's like, yeah, dude, as long as you're going to protect me when this happens, I just need protection when we're done. And says, yep, I trust. He trusts Adam and goes from there.
But he hemmed and hawed a little, but he still played it off.
Because how he was saying, like, well, are we going to vote Ben, whatever? And Adam's like, no. Are you open to something different? And Rob's like, oh, you're already going there? But he played it off really well. But Rob immediately goes to talk to Michelle and Jeremy and asks what they're talking about. And they're like, oh, about Ben or Denise. And he's like, cut the bullshit.
Right.
I know what you're doing. You're going to vote out Parvati. That's what Adam wants. He talked to me. We're not doing that. And Jeremy's like, no, we're not doing that. When I think Jeremy really wanted to, but just trying to stay on Rob's good side.
Right.
So at that point, they talk about sending Adam home, which I think is a fair play. Adam is
For
really,
what he did.
He's really trying to stir the pot, and he's talking to people he shouldn't be.
On both sides,
They
though.
had the numbers without Ethan, without Rob, to vote out Parvati. So why? I know you don't want them mad at you after the vote, but
Right.
why did you even involve them at this point? After it's done, let them be mad for a day and then say, look, dude, for our game to advance, eventually she was going to cut your throat and cut your throat. You can
Right.
explain yourself later. It's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission.
I agree.
Okay. So once Rob goes away, Michelle and Jeremy immediately start talking that they're not voting Adam. They're talking about voting Parvati or Ethan because they need to dethrone those 3 old school members they've been calling the shots. They've been very much in control this entire time, even being down a person after Danny went out.
Very
They're
dominating.
They're still controlling it. Yeah. So now we cut to tribal. And I just felt that Adam just kept putting his foot in his mouth. He talked about how Parvati's just played so many times. She has a target on her back. And then Rob has a statue built of himself on this island from the last season. And Rob was just like, why are you calling that stuff out?
Right.
And so Adam tries to explain himself like, it's not like it's stuff people don't know. Everybody already knows this.
And they can put it under the rug, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just say it
so,
and put it under the rug.
I don't know. I just felt like,
I think Ben's still a wild card too. Ben's just out there floating.
That's weird. I did not
Yeah.
realize what temperament he had. And then even him talking later, I mean, I didn't realize he was like that.
Ben's good. Still want him, Laura.
Pay-
Let me give you that PayPal.
PayPal.
so because I take notes every episode here that I refresh my memory with, as they're calling out the votes and they said like Parvati had 1 and Adam had 3, I wrote Adam's name down. I thought Adam was going home.
That's funny.
And then they started Ethan. And I was like, what the hell in my
Right.
head? Like, why?
He's just very low key.
Like, I know that they mentioned him as being another target.
Yeah.
I don't think he was as big as a threat as
But
Parvati, though.
I know, but at least just to get him out that way, now they're thinking that's one less number for them.
I know, but I don't know.
I love that Adam had no clue they were voting Ethan. I think that was hysterical.
he was the only one that
screwed.
voted Parvati. I
That's
think.
what I'm saying. So it's just to me, like,
He spent
Adam, you're
all-
on the outs too.
He spent
buddy.
all that time like throwing this plan together, and then they got the tribal. He was like,
Honestly, if they
I
could
had no
right
idea.
now,
No, you don't
take
have an
out
alliance, pal.
Parvati, Rob, let's say even Adam, because he's trying to call the shots. That would be a fair game for the rest of them on that tribe.
This is what happens when you try to dominate.
right.
I think if they lose one more tribe or one more tribal and have to vote somebody else out, they're going to have to mix the tribes up again because they're going to get to the point that it's so loud. They're going to end up sitting out 3 people from Tikal just to
Right.
freaking compete with Selly.
Right.
Like, eventually,
Yeah,
so
to
unless
reshuffle.
stuff swings and Tikal starts losing, they're going to have to reshuffle.
I think it's just reshuffle anyway. What are we, 9 days in?
Yeah.
It's just time to mix
You do it
up
every
again.
9 days.
Yeah.
You do it a couple times. You do
They-
it twice,
they
and then you go to
might-
merge.
They might do one more challenge.
You think?
I actually had just sitting here thinking, I have a good Survivor idea. They should do a Survivor, double the number of people, and do teams.
Oh, like a team could win?
Like teams of 2. Like your
Or a
team is,
package deal.
but your team of
Oh,
2 is in a tribe with other teams.
Yeah. But like you're voted out together. if you
Correct.
go. Yeah, that'd be an idea. Then
Call-
everyone. Then,
call me
then-
CBS.
Then you're all in pairs already because now they're so worried someone's working together
Yeah.
and has a
Oh my
connection.
God.
and
It'd be a crazy dynamic.
Paranoid.
yeah, it would.
All
Shall
right.
we give Karen a call?
Yeah, I
Call Karen.
would love to talk to Karen.
All right, let's get her on the phone here.
Hello?
Hello.
Heyo.
Hello.
We're so sorry to have to be calling you again so soon.
I know. I can't believe it. I'm the double loser.
And you
But
guys
you're
didn't
not
even do
out
anything.
though. Like that's the
I
thing.
know. What are your
I'm-
immediate thoughts when you watched it last night?
Well, I was sad because he's really not a threat, I don't think, to anybody. Because that's what, remember I said last, or
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, I said he might just slide through.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Ben's playing one heck of a game. And that,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I hated it. It was my guy.
I was bummed for you too. Yeah, I was
I
bummed
thought
for you too.
I thought it was me, honestly. I mean, I have Adam,
Yeah.
so he kind of put his
Yeah.
foot in his mouth
Yeah.
last night a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Adam too, but that's kind of what they led you to think. Like, oh no,
Right.
something's
Right.
going to happen here.
It's never the person they kind of.
I mean, I know Ethan, he's not a big threat, but he was with the numbers that could potentially be a threat in the game.
Yeah.
with
They
the
had the
old
numbers
school.
though. There
No,
was.
but even in the other, like having maybe they all
Maybe I'll just
combined
old
when-
school combined.
yeah.
It was just him, Rob, and Parv. They only had 3.
But I mean, when they
Right.
combine and merge,
But
it could
they were still, even though they didn't have the numbers, they were still controlling the vote. They were
Yeah.
always controlling what was happening and manipulating everything. So I know I
Yeah.
was bummed for you, but it'll be interesting now to have a
Yeah.
male figure on Edge of
over there.
Extinction because it's just been 3 females
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. What about Natalie out
Yeah.
there?
Oh my gosh!
Best player in the
yes.
game, not in the game.
Oh my word! How she was able to figure out that with the shells,
Yep.
that combination
I
blew
know.
She's
my
been
mind.
kicking ass. Last week she found that in the
Yes.
watering hole and didn't tell Amber, and then this week
Yes.
she did that. She's doing phenomenal. She's
Listen, I was never a fan of hers, but she's really growing.
Neither
on
was
me. I'm
Stacy.
thinking,
That's her
man.
person.
yeah, that's what Stacy said too. But
I go,
no,
I'm really starting to like her.
Mhm.
I know she has the most fire tokens of anybody in the game right now.
Yes.
She's not even on
Yes.
the main island; she's on the edge.
Yes.
Um,
And did I see right? Did Ethan give his fire token to Parvati?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay. She's going to be set pretty good then, I think.
She got
Well,
two.
yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't know why she seems to have control over people in
I
this
know.
game. Like she's, I don't know, a
Yeah.
master manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait, I have to ask you a question. What about Sandra? What about her sitting out again?
yeah,
And I-
I know. That's what I said to Marty. I go, that's twice he sat out.
Poor Buffet.
yeah, that's Marty's person.
And
Marty's
she's
got the
like,
queen.
oh, I can't do this
Mhm.
challenge or
Right.
something. She said.
She
And
can't
I'm
do any
thinking,
challenge. It's just funny.
No.
Because truthfully,
Right.
had she competed, they would have lost because there's no way her ass would have gotten over that wall or down
Yeah.
the wall thing they had to jump through.
Right.
She never
Right.
would have been
But
able
at
to.
least
Flopping
she's
like a
brave
fish when it's
enough
fun to watch.
step- yeah, she's brave enough to step up and say that though, because
Oh, there was zero hesitation there.
I know. Yep, me.
You
I
know.
I'm
got
out.
it.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just said though that if the Selly tribe keeps losing, they're gonna have to scramble the players and do new tribes soon because the numbers are gonna be so skewed one way.
yeah,
If
yeah.
they don't do something soon, that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because right
I
now,
wonder
as it
if they'll
stands,
go down to 2 tribes. You think maybe?
they might have to just shuffle everybody and just
reshuffle.
have them redraw buffs.
Okay,
Just to
Which
Yeah.
they have
They'll
done
do-
before.
Yeah, because
they'll
they're gonna
do 3 teams.
yeah.
Or no, they'll do two.
They'll do
like
two,
they'll just
I think.
redraw.
Just
Like
have to
colors.
redraw
Yeah.
because right now,
Yeah.
next week DeCall's gonna have to set out 2
Yeah.
people.
Right. So
Yeah.
maybe they
Yeah.
could next. You don't mean who
You
knows?
never know.
Yeah,
So-
you don't know.
So, Karen, other than
That's
your
it.
people, who do you like on the show so far?
Who? Oh, that's tough.
I like Tony.
No, I'm not a Tony fan. Ben.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always liked Ben. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to buy him from Laura.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe Wendell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Wendell's kind of
Yeah.
arrogant in his tone sometimes,
Yeah.
but he's very good at what he does.
Yeah. So they could be kind of a favorite of mine,
Yeah.
the 2 of them.
We
So.
have been saying, and we talked about in the last episode, even though we didn't call anybody, that we're all kind of underwhelmed with the season so far because everyone's been so paranoid they haven't been
Yeah.
playing. Like they're so
Yeah.
worried about what everyone else is doing. Just
Yeah.
play your game. It's
Right.
like we feel like the Red Tribe, the Jakal tribe's kind of having more fun right now because they haven't been to tribal in 2 weeks.
Right.
So they were letting
Right.
loose a little more. They were fishing and doing some things where I feel like
Yeah.
the Selly tribe, they're all just like on
crickets,
edge
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, they're all on
I was
edge.
actually thinking about it this morning, like the aspect that they're all winners is pretty cool because you're going to have the winner of the winner, and they want to be that person who wins it.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, I kind of miss that like mixed bag where you have like the clear idiots that you're like, get them off the island
Yeah. Karishma
The
from last
Karishmas.
Oh
season.
gosh.
Yeah.
and the reams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my
right.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Well, I'll
Natalie's
think-
kicking butt on the edge, but hopefully one of your
Yeah.
people can get back in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ethan might
you
do
know,
good over there.
I'm just telling you, she's just blown my mind. That it puts a doubt in my mind that anybody's going to get past her. You know, she's
She can
just,
get back in the
she's
game.
just on a roll.
Mhm.
She's just on a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I was going to ask you guys too. What do you think about? Oh my God, I just had a brain fart.
Bud Light fart.
Rob. He just doesn't
Ugh.
seem to be real strong in his challenges anymore.
I agree.
He's terrible in his
He's
challenges.
getting old.
I said he looked like shit today. I mean, I watched it right before we're doing this now, and I was like, he looks old and run down and tired.
Yeah.
He just looks
Yeah,
tired.
that's what I thought. He
He's
looks
very good in his social game.
Mm-hmm. Well, he just
Yeah.
manipulates
But
everything.
he is. He's getting older, and the challenges are harder. He's not
But
a young buck
even the
anymore.
puzzles.
Yeah.
Well, last week
Yeah.
he was worried because Amber had been voted out, so he had other stuff on his mind. But
Right.
this week it's like I think almost the pressure of having to prove something.
Yeah.
But they also
Mm-hmm.
were behind.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Right.
They get a
Yeah.
head start in the puzzle. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be.
I don't know. It's going to get interesting. Like you guys said, it's just kind of been at a little lull here.
Mhm.
I almost wish it was like 2 hours long. When it was over, I was like, oh, really? It's all done
Right.
already?
Yeah.
It just seemed like
Yeah.
a boring episode almost yesterday.
Don't they get
Just
into
kind
more
of like-
challenges when they
They do.
When they merge? Because you
Immunity
have
and rewards.
immunity
they do
and
two,
reward,
Yeah,
yeah.
they do 2 challenges.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
separate ones.
Yeah. Well, look, the little highlights from next week, it looked like some people were starting to fall out, like the heat or some kind of
On the
Yeah.
edge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like exhaustion or something was kicking in, or so things might start to step up a little bit.
For sure.
As they're slowly getting dwindled out and voted out, and these little gifts that they're buying or awards or rewards
Mhm.
that they're buying and stuff
Yeah.
are going to really start playing in, and so things are going to get interesting here real soon, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, and again, we only see what we see in that hour. We
Yeah.
miss a lot of stuff
I
and
know.
a lot of conversations, So it's like, darn, I wish they were just there and hearing everything that goes on off to the side. And
What did you think of Sarah sneaking out of the other tribe?
oh my God, when she said she was going to accept that challenge, I'm thinking, you've got to be crazy.
I
Would you
know.
do it,
But
Karen?
she did it. I don't.
You guys are a bunch of
Probably
wimps.
Allie and
I don't
he
know
asked us
if I would've
earlier.
done
We
it.
both said no.
And here's why. First, it's dark. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to risk it for the
Sneaking around,
biscuit.
I might have been a little scared. And to me, it wasn't all that big of a reward
Yeah.
to me to take that chance
Yeah.
of leaving your tribe or sneaking into the other. If I got caught, I just think I'd have thrown my hands up and told them, "Oh, I was here on the challenge, but you got me. I'm leaving now. Bye."
Guys, I just need your torches real
Don't
quick.
shoot me. Don't shoot me. Yeah.
Need your torches real
But
quick.
do what?
You say, I need your torches real quick. I'll be out here in a minute.
But I was more concerned about somebody at their tribe waking up here in the boat that she left on her
Yeah.
because her and
Tony.
what's his name? Tony left together. He
Mhm.
helped her. So
Mhm.
yeah, but I don't think I'd have hit the gut.
Same.
to
I
try
think
that
she
one.
wanted
just
to because
don't
I
I
think
could've.
she had that same advantage when she played and she used it and voted somebody out by stealing the
Mhm.
vote.
Yeah.
I think that's why she really
Yeah.
wanted because she knows it can work in your advantage.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So that's
well,
why.
anytime I think anytime that you're offered a challenge or something like that, you really need to jump on.
Right.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have had the guts to do it.
Right.
So hats off to her.
I couldn't
And
be on
she
the
did it.
show
Bunch
because they
of
have
wimps.
spiders on them and I can't
I
do
know.
bugs.
Ask
Yeah.
Marty. Is Marty right there? I want to know if Marty
I
would
heard
do
Boo
it.
thing in the back. I did. I heard him.
If Marty, that challenge where the girl went into the other tribe to get that. Would you have done that? Do you think you would have done that? They want to know. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
Marty with me.
He'll leave
He
us
would've gone in
behind.
coughing and announced himself. It's funny. It's funny. Well, I'm curious. So my two are gone. So now I wonder.
But
who's
they're
next.
not gone. I mean, Ethan could.
No,
I mean,
no.
I don't know about Amber, but Ethan could do good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't know how many they're going to let try to
Right.
get back in either. Is
Yeah,
it one? Is
we
it
don't
gonna
know.
be two? Yeah. So, but yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm curious. It's going to get better. This week just was kind of, I just wasn't happy, I guess. So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand.
Yeah, because I lost. So, but at least they're still in it. They're not totally gone. So I got to remember that. I feel like, because they're voted out that they're gone, but they're not.
Mhm.
They still have
Yeah.
a chance. So,
For sure.
yeah. What, Marty? To tribal? Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said his haven't even been into tribal yet.
You made it past
Okay,
episode
well,
3.
I know.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop. Well, all right.
All right. Well,
Mhm.
that's about all I have to offer.
Yeah,
Not
no,
too
it
much.
was great.
My people are sulking.
well, we won't have to call you next week.
Right, that's a plus.
I know. What do you mean? All right. Well, good luck,
Okay,
everybody.
we'll
All
talk
right.
to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, Karen's
Poor
bumming.
Karen.
I know.
At least Marty would have snuck into the.
He would have with you,
Here's a bunch of
but
wimps.
you would have gotten caught because of his cough.
I would have brought cough drops for him.
Okay.
So right now, I think the people right now who are playing the game and not just being paranoid are
The DeKal tribe.
Tony, Wendell,
Okay.
and Natalie, who's on Extinction.
Natalie doesn't care. She's like, I am going to fight for this, and I'm going to get back into this.
Everybody else, in my opinion, Rob's got a decent social game right now. He sucks at challenges. I feel like everybody else right now, Ben's playing a pretty good game because he's kind of floating in the middle. He's doing his thing. He's trying to be more social this
Kind
time.
of scares me.
Jeremy
But-
kind of
Jeremy's laying low,
laying low because he was a target in the
I like
first
him.
beginning because of him and Natalie.
but
So
he's sitting very
You
good.
have him?
He is. I have Jeremy.
Okay, I like him.
He's sitting
Yeah.
really good because he got some sort of advantage about leaving tribal.
Yes.
Not getting
before
voted
the
out.
vote, but
yes,
he can't
yes,
vote.
Yes.
And Denise is sitting very good right now because she has an
The
extra
idol.
fire token and
an idol.
an idol. So
Which I feel like we didn't get to check in a lot though with the DeKal tribe because like Kim we didn't see and she has an idol.
yeah.
Like you didn't see a lot of them because they didn't go to tribal, so it's like
Right.
hard because you feel like you miss out on stuff
Right.
because they didn't show her at all when they were talking about the shark. We didn't see her or Nick
Right.
until like the challenge
I forgot
Yeah.
about Nick until I saw him during the challenge.
when he fell off the wall.
everybody else, in my opinion, is just not really playing the game that they won with the first time, and they're forgetting
I
that.
feel every season, like you said, if it's like the average Joe's there, you got the stoop people that have to go early, and then once you get in, right before the merge, stuff starts to get interesting because people are starting to scramble and make alliances and play the game. So it'll the plot will thicken.
Technically, I mean, most of these people know each other or know of each other before they started the game this season, and that's not true in other seasons.
Right.
So
Right.
you kind of have an idea of their personalities and what they're like before they get there.
Yeah.
So that's all I have.
Yeah.
Me too.
So next week, I'm not here.
Yeah, Kyle's going to be out of town, so Jillian and I are going to still be doing the podcast. We're going to have some special guests here with us, so it should be an interesting
It
episode.
will be an interesting
I apologize
video.
in advance for what comes out of it,
Yep.
but we'll do our best.
We're not going to tell you, but okay.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.